Hi, good afternoon, Kent State Stark family. My name is Katie Schalmo. I am your Assistant Director in the Student Financial Aid Office. This is my first Facebook Live. I've never even done it on my personal account. I was just telling one of my colleagues in marketing, it is ridiculous to be this nervous in my basement. So I'm coming at you live from my basement. I am hiding from my two children, who thankfully baby is napping and my 4-year-old is upstairs just wishing she could have her debut right now too. But I want to stay on track. I want to give you some really important information. Let's acknowledge the elephant in the room, that is COVID-19, and how all of our worlds have been turned upside down. You are not alone. We are all going through this together. And as if financial aid wasn't scary enough with finances and money and all of that, now you may find yourself unemployed. You may find yourself in a remote classroom that you did not sign up for. And I want you to know that we acknowledge that your anxiety is real. And we are here to help you get through all of this. And I'm hoping by doing this Facebook Live this afternoon, I can answer some of your questions that you have. We'll be doing the live Q&A, so please feel free to shoot your question right down there in the comment box, and I will be able to answer those as they come in. And I'm also just going to share some important information that I have prepared too, and maybe that'll prompt some questions that you didn't even know that you had. So I will ask that if you have super personal questions that are about your account specifically, that you reach out to one of our financial aid counselors and we'll be able to assist you. And let me tell you how you can actually do that. So since we are not in the office, we are all working remotely. So every single one of the counselors in the financial aid office, myself included, is set up to handle any questions that you have. You can send us an email, you can call us. We have voicemails that we'll answer, and we can even set up like a face-to-face view like this through Zoom or through Teams, whichever, Skype, any device that you have set up on your computers and that you're comfortable with, we can make happen for you. So how about those ways to contact us? So first and foremost, please email us if you have any questions or if you want to set up an appointment. And the email address that you can use is starkfinancialaid@kent.edu. Now, we are all working this email and we will get back to you pretty quickly. I would say within a matter of a couple of hours would be our typical response on business days, Monday through Friday. We do have an out of office message that will say we'll get back to you within 24 hours, but that would be the latest we would go. I don't foresee that it taking very long for us to get back to you. If you need to call us, please don't call the main line that you're probably used to calling. I'm going to give you the number to use that can actually take voicemails, because our previous number, we always had somebody to answer that line. Well, that person isn't able to be in the office. So the number you will want to call for the Stark campus is 330-499-9600. And any financial aid related voicemail that you leave will get sent to us, and then we'll be able to respond back to you. That does not mean you can't communicate to us in the way you're used to communicating through our personal Kent emails or our personal phone numbers. You can certainly still reach any staff in the financial aid office and the email that you're used to using with them or their phone number. We have access to our phones, our voicemails, everything. So you can just operate that process as normal, and we'd be able to get back to you as soon as we can. For veteran benefits, I just want to let you know that Annie Fritz would be your best contact for that. If you do email starkfinancialaid@kent.edu, I can give that information to her. But if you'd like her contact directly, it would be Fritz, FRITZ2 @kent.edu, and she'll be able to answer all of your veteran benefit questions. Okay, so some basic information that I want to give you is just getting you prepared for these upcoming semesters. Summer is remote instruction for intersession, summer 1 and summer 2. So a lot of the questions I'm getting right now from students are that, how am I going to pay for this? What are we going to do? So for those who have never taken summer classes, you can use the FAFSA, which is federal financial aid, to apply to your summer. So what you need to do is fill out the 2020, 2021 FAFSA. And then after you complete that, you'll complete your financial aid enrollment plans. So those are two huge steps to make sure you get on track for your financial aid. And so I want to go into more details about those. So for your FAFSA, again, the summer term is our starting term for the new academic year of 2020 and 2021. So if you go to studentaid.gov and you select fill out the FAFSA, it's going to show you two FAFSA options. Make sure that you select that 2020, 2021 to complete. And then once Kent State receives it, we will get you processed and get you ready to be awarded your financial aid. Now, that FAFSA does require 2018's tax information. So we're going to prior year. It's not going to be 2019's tax information, and it's not going to obviously be 2020's. So some of you may be thinking, well, I just lost my job, and what I looked like on paper in 2018 looks nothing like I look like now. Well, that's okay. We're here to help you, and we have some things in place that can help you work through this. So for example, if you file your FAFSA or you already have filed your FAFSA and now 2020 has completely changed for you, there's something called a special circumstance application. And you can find that on the financial aid website, which is going to be kent.edu/financial aid/forms and applications. On there, you're going to select special circumstance, and you would find beginning tomorrow a loss of income special circumstance application, and you can put on there that you've lost your job in 2020. You'll give a statement, you'll provide some documents that are requested, but it is a process to help you so that we can get you awarded what your eligibility is. So after you've done your FAFSA, then you're going to need to do the financial aid enrollment plans. So where those are located is in Flashline, and I want everybody to pay super close attention to this because it is causing a lot of students some issues, and I want to walk you through it so you have a super easy experience with it. So what this is something that continuing students need to complete. Our new freshmen, if any of you are listening, you do not have to complete these plans, but you will next year. So you want to focus and listen up too. So what these are telling us what your plans are. Do you plan to attend summer? You need to tell us that so that we can award you appropriately. Do you want to borrow a loan for summer? You need to tell us that too, because we can't just offer it if we don't know that you've requested it. And then we need to know, are you graduating? Because that impacts your loan eligibility moving forward. So what you're going to do is start with a brand new browser open, and it can only be Chrome. So I think the majority of people are using Chrome, but for my Mac users, if you use Safari, it's not going to work. Firefox is not going to work. It has to be Chrome. And there are some steps you need to take in order for it to work even after you've used your Chrome browser. You need to clear out your browser history. You need to clear out your cookies and your cache, and I'm going to tell you how to do that for those who are not tech savvy like myself, who usually need those kind of instructions. So what you're going to do is open a new Google Chrome browsing window. You're going to select your settings option, and you're going to select privacy and security. And then under there, you're going, as I'm reading this because I obviously don't know, you need to clear your browsing data, and then you're going to clear your history, your cookies, and your cache. So once you've done all of that, you need to open a brand new Google Chrome browser and then log into your Flashline account. You will be prompted with 6 questions when you complete your financial aid enrollment plan. So once you get through all of those, that's how you'll know it's been completed. So let's talk about how you access this in Flashline. So when you have done all of that with your Chrome browser, you're good to go. You log into your Flashline account, and you're going to select student. And then under finances, you're going to click financial aid. And then there's a bright blue tile that's going to populate up on the left-hand side of Flashline, and it's going to say Financial Aid Enrollment Plans. And in there is where you're going to complete the questions that they'll ask you. And you need to wait till it says, congratulations, you've completed all of your questions or something like that. We sent a phone call out on Saturday for people who had it incomplete. And those who hadn't done it yet. So please make sure that you listen to those or that you make sure you complete everything. We are here to help you. If you have any trouble, please reach out to the financial aid office. We will be able to assist you and help you get all of those questions answered, because we can't award you your financial aid at this point until those questions are answered for our continuing students. And we're starting to do that this week. So I'd really like for all of you to get this done, get awarded, so you can start planning for the upcoming semesters that are headed your way. So what about if you completed your enrollment plans already and you need to change an answer? So I worked with a student yesterday who said, you know, I thought I was graduating in spring, but I'm actually able to graduate in the fall. What do I do so that I can get awarded correctly? And you have to go back into your financial aid enrollment plans and answer the questions again, and this time change your response to that graduated question. So yes, you do have to answer all of them again, but there's only 6 questions. It's worth your while. And then make the correction to the one that has changed since the last time you completed the questions. So the next big thing that we are getting from students is starting to talk about summer. So I want to give you some dates as to when the bills are going to be due, when you'll be able to see your bill, because all of you, I hope, are registering for your classes. If you have not spoken to an advisor yet, you are able to do that. They are having phone appointments with students. They're able to help you get registered for your summer classes, for your fall classes. They can even do a face-to-face through Zoom or through Skype or anything that you're comfortable with if that environment suits you better. So I encourage all of the students who are considering enrolling in classes, maybe you're a little nervous about it. They are remote instruction for the beginning of summer. Let us talk you through all of that and kind of ease your mind into this process. So the advisors are ready and they're willing to take any of your calls and answer any questions that you have. And so once you do register for your classes, then your summer bill will be produced electronically on April 21st, and you'll be able to view that in Flashline. And then from there, those bills will be due for summer May 11th. So summer works a little bit differently than fall and spring, especially if this is your first time taking summer classes. Some things that you want to know that I will share with you is, again, you have to tell us that you're attending summer so we can award you federal financial aid if you're looking to borrow money. If you are paying out of pocket, summer does not have a payment plan. So that is something that's very different from fall and spring, where you're used to having a 5-month payment plan option, but summer is such a short term that a payment plan isn't really applicable to the summer semester. So you want to plan for that. Those bills are due May 11th. We'll work with you to make sure that we answer any financial aid questions that you have. Okay, so another big question that I have been getting through my contact with students is about withdrawing from classes. Now, I understand being concerned about having a successful semester. You're worried about your GPA, you're worried about completing these courses, and those are very real concerns. And before you make any rash decisions, I know the environment around us is so chaotic, and how could we possibly focus on school too? Let us talk you through it before you make those decisions. Because withdrawing from classes not only affects you academically, but it can impact your financial aid eligibility as well. For an example, we are required to evaluate satisfactory academic progress for students who receive federal financial aid. So what that means is you are held to a certain GPA. That's required for you to be eligible for your loan money and your grant money. And you also have to complete a certain percentage of courses. So if you withdraw and from all of your classes, I mean, think about that. That's going to be pretty tough on your percentage, especially if you've withdrawn from classes in previous semesters. So you want to reach out to a financial aid advisor. We can help you evaluate how it would impact you and what you need to do moving forward. I will say that for spring semester at Kent, they have implemented a pass-fail option for your courses. I encourage students to look into that if that's something that you're wanting to do, or if you're nervous about how successful your semester will be. Please speak to your instructors, your department, the academic advisors, so that they can assist you in making those types of decisions. Some courses are not eligible for that. Some programs are not eligible for that. So do some research and reach out for some help. If anybody did frantically withdraw from all of their courses or a lot of their courses after March 10th, given everything that was going on, there are options for you. You can petition to re-enroll in those courses. You'd have to work with your instructors to get the work to make up. But tomorrow at 11:59 is your last option to do that. So if you go to kent.edu/coronavirus/grading, all of that information will be laid out for you to help you make those decisions. I will say from a financial aid aspect that if you switch to pass-fail, it shouldn't have much of an impact on you for financial aid purposes. However, if you have been cited in the past for GPA, this is not going to boost it, because if you move to a pass-fail grading system, then you're not going to get any points to count for your GPA. So you could potentially be cited then in the summer or the fall moving forward. So work with us in the financial aid office too, to make sure that we can take a look at how that would impact you as well, if that's something that you decide. So you also have some extensions for payment for spring, as well as final withdrawal dates. So I want to share that stuff with all of you. For example, if you do decide to withdraw, it was supposed to be March 22nd, which is my birthday, just FYI, for your final day to withdrawal, but that's been extended. It's actually April 28th, the last day of the semester, and so you can't include finals week. It's the very last day of the semester for your in-class, well, remote class instruction, which is April 28th. And then you can opt into that pass-fail grading option until May 18th. So again, that's like 5 days after, I think, the end of finals week. So just be mindful of that information of when you can make these decisions. And again, work with your academic areas if you have any questions about that. So let's talk about payments. So important dates for spring. If any of you are on the payment plan through Flywire, you would likely be anticipating a payment to be due April 5th, your final payment. That is not the case. It has now been changed in Flywire to be set for May 1st. That was an automatic change. There's nothing that you have to do. That is already done for you. So if you have it pulling from your direct deposit or something like that, then you can expect that to be May 1st. And for anybody who's been struggling to pay for the spring semester, at a certain point in March, they stopped assessing registration holds and late fees, and they have given you, and I keep saying they, the bursar's office, our billing office, has given you through April 30th to pay for your spring semester. So please work with the financial aid office. If you're having a hard time coming up with that, we'll take a look, evaluate everything as a whole, and see what we can do for you to help. Registration and transcript holds are still going to be added for non-payment, but they won't be added until May 4th. So you have some time. Please, again, work with us, keep us in the loop. and we will figure out what's the best path for you to get everything resolved so that you can have a successful spring semester and get you registered for the summer and the fall semesters. So speaking of that, I believe an email went out yesterday notifying students that they can petition for, it's called a request for spring registration hold removal. That is in place for the spring semester. You would get a DocuSign link through an email. It's not something that you can get on the Bursar's website. It comes to you in the email notifying you of this option, and you can submit that DocuSign through the link provided in that email. So that's an option for you to get you registered as well. Okay, so the last few things that I want to touch on before I go to some question and answers is for my returning students, your scholarship applications are being reviewed for the Start Campus Scholarship Review process. The deadline was March 1st, so there is a committee of faculty and staff, and we are all reviewing your scholarships, myself included. I'm on the committee, and I will be reviewing those along with the group, and we will notify everybody in early June. So if anybody has just jumped on, I want to take a second to reintroduce myself. Again, I'm Katie Schalmo. I am your assistant director in the financial aid office at Kent State Stark. I am new to campus. I just started January 6th, and I'm local though. I'm from Stark County originally. I've been in financial aid for 11 years. I worked at the Kent campus for all of those 11 years. I'm a Kent State alum. I am a Golden Flash, so I love the hashtag flashes take care of flashes. I completely agree. I started out with my undergraduate at Kent, finished that. I went to graduate school. I was so blessed to have a graduate assistantship when I was in graduate school in the financial aid office. They sucked me in, and I didn't go to school to plan for this. I was going to be a school counselor. I loved working in the financial aid office. I loved our students. I love Kent State. And so I've been fortunate to be able to continue to work in this environment in higher education that I didn't even know I loved. So I'm here to help you. We are here. We're still up and working. I'll give my contact information again real quick for anybody who's just jumping on. How to contact us for your financial aid questions is starkfinancialaid@kent.edu. And then you can always reach out to any staff member personally through their Kent email addresses and phone numbers, which is listed on our website for you. Or you can call at 330-499-9600 and leave a message, and we'll be able to return those voicemails as well. Okay, so let's get to some questions. So I just briefly mentioned scholarships, and a question populated of how can I search for scholarships? So if you missed having your scholarship essay submitted by March 1 for some of the Stark scholarships, there are certainly still opportunities for you of how you can find some additional scholarships. So some outside resources that I would recommend would be to look at your local community foundations, any parishes, any other. I know a lot of people aren't in the office right now, but they still have contact information. You can email, you can request. Your school counselor, any freshmen that are listening to this, is a huge asset to you. These staff members in schools get notified from counties of different scholarships that students are eligible. And it could be just even from your particular high school. There is a foundation looking to give money to a student who meets their criteria. And in those circumstances, you can apply. It may be paper, it could be online. So I encourage you to search for those. We always tell students that finding scholarships is like a part-time job, and it's very important to do the legwork. For example, we typically have less than 200 people who apply for our scholarships at Stark. I mean, your opportunity there is so huge to be eligible and to receive one of these scholarships. So really put in the footwork, complete your essays, have people proofread them. It's a great value for you and for your education. Another opportunity would be College Now. They have a lot of scholarship opportunities for students. There's even a representative who's local that works with the Stark County and Summit County community. So I encourage you to reach out to College Now and see what would be available. And then Kent State Search Qualifier. So on the Kent State website, there is a section to fill out scholarships for returning and transfer students. So if you log on to kent.edu/scholarships, you can click on resources, and then there will be links for different scholarship searches that you can find. And we'll be able to put the link out for you too on the comment section. And again, I encourage everybody to keep questions coming in. You have me for the next little while longer, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you have, whether you're a new student, returning student. It can be any question, and we will get back to you. If questions come in afterwards, we will respond through the chat feature that's going to be with this video. So I will give you a couple more notifications. So for fall bills, let's talk about fall a little bit. No, we don't know what that instruction is going to look like. I don't know if it's going to be traditional classroom. I don't know if it's going to be the same platform as summer where it'll be remote. But what will happen is bills will generate July 21st. Again, all these dates are subject to change, but this is what we have in place right now. So July 21st is when they will generate. And for my new freshmen, all bills are electronic. You'll learn this as you go through the virtual platform for First Steps, and we'll be getting communications out to you about those, or how to register, but it's all done electronically. So a bill won't come to your home. It's going to be through Flashline, and then the bills are going to be due August 7th for the fall. So for anybody who is considering a payment plan, this is important information for you, because if you are going to do the 5-month installment plan, which is the longest one that we have, your first bill is likely due July 1. And you're probably thinking that, okay, well, I don't know what my bill is until July 21st. So how am I going to make a payment on July 1st? So there's a really great feature at kent.edu/tuition. There's a drop-down box where you can select when you started classes. And since Kent State is a tuition guaranteed school, because the state of Ohio has tuition guarantee program, you're in a cohort where your tuition is locked in for 4 years. So you can actually determine how many credit hours you're taking and what that cost will look like. And then you can divide that by 5, and that's how you'll know what that payment is for July 1. So that's just a little easy tip if you're trying to plan moving forward. And I am so happy to have been able to reach out to all of you. I'm available in the office. And so are my colleagues. We are eager to serve our student population. We miss you all. Not being in there. I will say, coming from the Kent campus into Stark was so refreshing to me, because I got that interaction back with students that I had missed so much since we went to the One Stop for Student Services, who is amazing and does such wonderful work with our students. But I personally missed this interaction. So working remotely has been a challenge, but we are making do of it. I hope you found this information helpful. And we look forward to doing these types of things soon. I think there's another question, actually. How can I set myself up for success when repaying my student loans in times like this? That is a great question. And this all goes back to budgeting. So I hope people are paying attention to information they're receiving from Kent. We're going to have information up on the financial aid website about how this is impacting, the coronavirus is impacting loans. Interest may not be accruing. You may be able to ask for a forbearance, which is so you don't have to go into repayment at that time if you're graduating, and things like that. So I encourage you to seek out the exit counseling that you will get notified of if you graduate this spring, or if you drop below 6 credit hours, which is half time. What that will do is teach you who your lender is. That's who loaned you the loan money. And then that will teach you about repayment plans. There's 8 different repayment plans, something that can work with your current circumstance. So please do your research, and you can always reach out to us. We can look into the National Student Loan Data System and research who your servicer is for you and talk to you about different repayment plans. So, you know, possibly paying interest while you're in school is another way to be set up for success. Subsidized loans, there's 2 types of loans, subsidized loans and unsubsidized loans. Subsidized loans don't accrue interest while you're in school, but unsubsidized does. You're not required to make any payments, but if you did make payments, you would save yourself a lot on that principal balance. So great question, great question. There's no further questions at this point, so I'm gonna wrap it up here. I hope everybody has a great day. I'm anxious for Thursday because I think the sunshine is coming. And everybody needs to get outside, get some exercise, get a little fresh air, and